But this season, we're spinning a whole new record. I'm left-handed. That's where all my power is.
I love horses. I love goat. Goat's my favorite color.
WWJD. What would Janelle do?
I want the first Power of Veto.
Yes, that's right. Big Brother 24, the week 1 veto episode has aired, but we're just getting started here tonight on Super Mario Brothers podcast. He's streaming here live on Facebook, YouTube, and on Twitch. Or you might be listening to us in the audio version. We're here to break this all down. I'm Dave Mader, joined with my brother Jeff Mader, co-host Jaemeel Robinson, as we see the results here tonight of this Power Veto. Michael takes himself off the block. And Daniel gets talked into putting up Taylor as the replacement nominee, and so it's Taylor and Terrence to finish out these week 1 nominations as we head into tomorrow's eviction episode. Yeah, there was quite a bit of drama here, guys. What did you all think of the Taylor Paloma drama? I guess you could call it. It's kind of Taylor versus the girls alliance, while they manipulate some of the guys. I don't know. Daniel's HOH here. It's been, there's been a lot of outcries from the alumni association saying, well, how could Taylor's treatment here has been abhorrent. But you see here in this edited episode tonight, guys, that really it's the house mostly is like, I don't know, it seems to be true. It seems to be like Taylor seems to be this bad person that we should get out, and why not? It's better her than me. And, there's a few people who doubt that, like in particular, your draftee Jeff there, Nicole. She's like, I'm not really feeling like this is right, and we know in our heart that Paloma's in the wrong here, and it's not just Paloma. It seems like Jasmine quite a bit here, but yeah, like they don't like that she's a pageant queen. She's flaunting around her dresses, whatever. I don't know. So Jeff, let's go to you first. What's your reaction to tonight's episode?
Oh my God. Where to start? Let me start with Paloma is like, she's a lot. She's a great cast, but my God, she is I feel like it is a train wreck. Like I'm watching a train wreck because it's going to eventually happen. It hasn't happened yet. It's still, traveling down the I-90, whatever, going 90 miles an hour, but it's going to eventually crash because people are going to, compare notes at some point. So that's how I feel. I feel like Taylor just kind of they just don't gel. And I don't know, when you go around the whole time I've seen the show, at least it seems like Paloma has been basically bad-mouthing Taylor from the get. And just it's just
there's been a lot of racial connotation or latent racism sort of tied to this feud between Paloma and Taylor, perhaps. That's what Twitter's saying. That's not necessarily what I'm saying. But others, there's been quite a few things. Oh, Mike Bloom's got an interview coming on JCM tomorrow.
I didn't really find it to be a race thing, but maybe it is. Maybe it is does come somewhat from that way. But I don't know.
But maybe it's just a bully and the bullied. With Paloma definitely being the aggressor and Taylor sort of being a little bit naive to Paloma's aggression towards her, but Paloma seems to have the upper hand at the moment in this feud that I don't think Taylor fully understands that she's in with Paloma.
Well, that's the thing. That's what's so frustrating is Taylor has not gotten like a confrontation moment. There's been nothing with Taylor and Paloma that could blow the house up so everyone was on the same page. They just kind of either took someone at face value or not. And it was just groupthink, but at a certain point. And Big Brother is a weird game where you don't really want to question people early, But later,
it's all about self-awareness.
Like, if that doesn't scream a lack of self-awareness, I am sorry.
Jameel.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, we've been waiting to come to you. We were saying even before you joined in the queue there. I don't think Jameel's gonna like this episode too much. I
love this episode. I love this.
You love it. Okay, then.
And I'll tell you why.
Right.
Let me start off first regarding the whole. I'll leave the Paloma and Taylor points just in a second. but Paloma herself. When you hear someone talk, to quote George Carlin, you listen to them and you go, ah, this person is stupid. But then you listen to them more and you're like, wait a second, they're full of shit. And then you listen more and they're like, ah, they're fucking nuts. And
Yeah.
Paloma is all three.
She's at stage
stupid,
3.
she's full of shit, and she's fucking nuts. Oh my
And she's
god.
hosing this whole house, it seems like.
If like
She's a great cast. You have to admit that.
she is perfect, a perfect selling point for people for live feeds because she is friggin' insane. Like she just goes on tangents. They have like a Reddit like series called I want to get this quote right. Mini Paloma logs, where they just have her rant like in just like a block of text. It's just a block of text, right, to read out.
Just a transcript. It's like a transcript of a
It's like
Trump speech.
a court reporter.
Like this is all her talking. That's one like
That's one breath.
log.
I thought my playback tonight when she was talking a couple times, I was like, is that 1.5 speed? I'm like, she is talking extremely fast. Is she on coke? What is going on?
When she talks to Daniel, Daniel doesn't react like she's like they're having a conversation. It's like he's witnessing something happen. He's like, is everyone watching this? This is unreal. Like these are the comments he's saying while she's talking. She's just ranting and raving. Sure, she started off and it seemed like she had a pretty good, lock on the game, and she motivated and circled all the wagons to kind of go after Taylor, but Taylor might not survive this week. But people are like, yeah, Paloma's very like loyal, but she's kind of like friggin' crazy. This is what like people are saying to each other. Like,
yeah, no, it's going to crash and burn and she could have played well. Like she just had to, subtly accomplish what she wanted to accomplish here, but she goes way over the top, and she does that. I think partly because of what you're saying, Jaemeel. There's that little crazy gene in her brain that is, because now that say Taylor gets voted out, Paloma will now find a new enemy.
They already have the first 3 people that they want out already.
Yeah. No. Sure. It doesn't matter who it is. It will be some sort of a crazy confrontation or drama, or it's going to go that way. That's why I think she's such a good cast, because she is going to create a lot of drama in the house. It's not going to be boring.
The girls alliance is doomed right now because if they think that they're gonna run this into even the jury, forget it.
So Dave, to go back to your point about racial motivation, I think that this is racially motivated, right? Paloma's feelings towards Taylor is not racially motivated.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah.
I think it's because she's a pageant.
I think that Paloma has a lot of issues that she's dealt with, and she has preconceived notions that she is attaching to Taylor, and Taylor, with her distance initially, didn't refute those thoughts, and so Paloma just ran wild with it. So that's Paloma, right?
Yeah.
But there are other people in the house who have racially motivated feelings towards Taylor's preconceived notions about stereotypical behavior for a person like Taylor. So, like, for example, Pooch, right, says, and I quote, can tell that Taylor is someone who will speak her mind and doesn't want any part of that. So he would rather her go sooner rather than later, right? He said whenever Taylor goes up on a block, she's going to get loud, right? Kyle agrees and said she will lose it, right? The trope of the angry black woman, right, is there. This is not like what Chima. She's not going to be throwing her microphone in the water, right? But you can kind of see that some people already have that idea that's going on. Now, is it racism? No, right? Right? It is just preconceived notions, right?
It's a prejudice. It's a type of prejudice, but
Paloma's drive to put her name out and constantly work the house, right, over a period of time where there is no defense from Taylor to refute anything that's being said, right? Everyone wants an easy week. And
Yeah, sure.
Paloma is providing it on a silver platter.
Yeah,
and
and she's making all their lives so easy.
Right? So that is the issue around it. Now, is Paloma wrong in what she's doing?
no,
No,
no.
because that is game. We might not like it,
Right.
but it's game. It's how the game is built. And unfortunately, the game, or fortunately, the game does not suffer people's feelings, right? Sorry that you feel bad. You'll be gone out of the game. The only saving grace, sorry, let me just finish. The only saving grace is people see what happens. So you'll have to deal with the public's opinion about yourself afterwards, right? Taylor's responsible with how she's perceived in the house and out of the house. Paloma's responsible for how she's perceived into the house and out of the house. That is the equalizer amongst all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like some of the stuff, like I would say, Jaemeel, that I wouldn't say it's racism, but it's definitely like on the line, like where it's just like, why are you singling her out for being like the person that's like you know what she was doing with the pool table where she was, you know, and just coming on to the guys. I don't know, like I do kind of see the point where it's like, if that's a white girl, are they saying the same thing? You know, they might be, but like I kind of.
It's hard to say. I think that I'm not no judgment, but I think that with the particular bathing suit that Taylor wore, I think for some women wasn't appreciated.
I think if she wore a potato sack, it would have been the same issue. She just has that has a body structure that and a confidence that a lot of people don't like. That's it, right? And once again, you're responsible for how you're perceived in the house and outside the house. And inside the house, absolutely, they could be perceived as very flirty to an extreme extent. Now, if it was Indy doing it, would it had the same reaction?
Yeah,
I don't know, because
maybe not.
I don't think so. You know, like I think, but maybe only. I feel like it's only a Paloma thing. Of like the fact that, you know, she's flaunting herself around for the guys.
It's not just the flirtiness; it's that she resents her for being from the pageant stuff. You hear this in some of her quotes here from Paloma.
Yeah.
Time to smile and wave to us from your living room, of course.
You know, she's and a couple of the quotes here.
But I think you're just doing this for attention, and we can see that.
That's Jazz.
with that fake southern accent. Oh
yeah.
my gosh!
Oh, what do you mean?
I'm ready to see some jousting and jiving.
Lord,
It was,
and enjoy me a good old feast with a big old turkey leg.
it was rough to listen to.
Dude, seriously, I think once Taylor is gone, I think people are going to have a conversation about what is happening there. Because if it was like, if Spike Lee watched this, he would be like, is she going to start tap dancing soon? Because it's so heavy-handed, it's ridiculous.
It's really rough.
It's really ridiculous.
It's like listening to something from like 100 years ago. You know, like it really, like it's rough.
So
Yeah, I know everyone has like their diary room character, but I don't know whose hers is supposed to be. Jasmine's is
she's like supposed to be a southern farmer.
She's a southern belle.
Yeah, like that's kind of her. But
Frenchie didn't have a heavy accent like that.
No, but she doesn't have that in real life. She puts it on as like a caricature that she's created.
But she takes it too far.
She's
she's
code switching, but I have to question why are you switching for production like that? Why are you presenting yourself in that way? Right? It's to me, that is the biggest issue that I see. Honestly, it's uncomfortable when I see those scenes.
That's so true.
Yeah,
it's rough to listen. I cringed a couple times. I was like, "What are you doing?" You know. But that's Yaz. I mean, she's just kind of Paloma's right hand person, and right now, those two are going to be on the block together. I think quite soon.
We'll see. We could, because it didn't really come up in this tonight, we could talk about the alliances, because I got There's a long list of alliances. It's ridiculous.
Okay. Can we first, before we do that, can we talk a little bit about Daniel in this episode? Because I have him in the draft. I am not a fan of this guy. Like I thought he was going to be way cooler. He is really awkward. You know,
I agree with you. He's lame.
lame. He's unrootable.
Yeah.
I really, really cringe watching him do this HOH.
Yeah,
it's not even passable. It's cringe. Like, you know, like if this guy was on BB Can, I'd be like, what are you doing? You know, and on BBUS, it's even worse. I'm just like, oh my God, like it's not rocket science, but he has no concept of what's going on in the house. It's very
and send
clear.
Sir Superfan on his merry way.
Yeah,
he's going after like people for really no reasons. You know, he puts up Taylor because all the house comes. It doesn't really care to investigate what exactly happened.
No, he goes, yeah, it's come to my attention.
It has come to my attention though that you've been rubbing the house the wrong way a little bit.
You know, like this guy has been really rough to watch. I mean, as a draft pick of mine,
it's a bad one. It's one of maybe the worst.
He promised so
this
well.
It's like a Frenchie level pick.
He mentioned all of the best players that and I feel like most people never do. And I was like, okay, he will understand the game. He is got no concept of how to read a house, especially at the top of Power. You know, yeah, he watches the show. You know, that's a different. To play the game, you really have to observe and understand who's where in the house and why they're saying what. It's not. It's actually like, especially when Paloma talks to him, it's like being telegraphed to him over and over. Girls Alliance, all this stuff. I'm just
you can say it to his face.
He's ignoring it. Like
he's ignoring it. I'm just like, what are you doing?
Girls.
He's like, what? What's good for the house is good for my game. And what else, you know?
So you're in the position now where you can rally for votes and maybe even apologize for some things you've said in this house.
So it's really
she doesn't even know what she's apologizing for.
It's a good thing I'm putting you up, really, because it's for you. It's really like you have a chance now to like get votes and like tell people your story. So really, like, if I had done this, it would have maybe been so much worse for you.
What? Yeah. What was that speech? That was all of it. Rough.
If it was anyone else, they would have been like, I need to keep Taylor in this game because she's gonna be a target ahead of me for sure. Right?
Yeah.
She's gonna be a target ahead of me for sure. Like, she is drawing so much attention. Paloma is like after her. Why am I getting Paloma's blood on my hands?
Would you just like, I'd be like, I just put Paloma up, you know, boom.
Like Paloma would be a perfect pawn because she's not going though.
Would Terrence go or Paloma?
Terrence would go.
Really?
Over Paloma. Dude. Like
Does she have the
when I break it down.
She has the house under her thumb. Is that what's going on?
No, but not real. Like yes and no, because she's with everyone, but at the same time, everyone's like she is all over the place. Right. Like people are comparing notes and like, is she in alliance with everyone? Or like everyone knows all the girls are together.
Yeah.
Right. With the exception of Nicole and Taylor, everyone knows.
But
right?
they kind of like, but Taylor, didn't they try to like talk Taylor in this episode into joining up with them? And she's like, I don't see the reason to draw lines like that this early in the game. And
yeah, I actually really
edited. That was edited.
I agreed with Taylor though in that DR. I was like, yeah, that's stupid to like, I don't know, why? And she's gonna be at the bottom of the alliance. It made no sense for her to do that. Like, you know, I understand why she said what she said. I was like, all right, Taylor making a lot of sense here. This Paloma girl is running an alliance, a big one, and is very erratic. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guys, Monty, Dave, is he your draft pick?
Yeah, he's fine.
Terrible. Terrible performance tonight.
Well, yeah, he kind of got hosed here by Paloma, right? In particular, like later
he got
on,
hosed by himself. You know, how do you not like at least just think about this rationally? He immediately was like, "Well, I gotta believe her or don't believe her." I believe her. Him and Joseph too. He was the other one. I was like, what is going? Why is nobody just asking reasonable questions or getting both people's perspectives before they just jump to conclusions? Because that's what happened.
Yeah, this whole conversation that towards the end of the episode that takes place here with like Monty and Nicole and Paloma and Daniel up in the HOH room, where like I feel like Nicole is like a victim of some kind of like a massacre here. Or a crime. She's a witness to something.
We need a blanket.
Yeah, like she's gonna be like this. Yeah, she needs to be
coffee.
She needs some counseling here. But like I don't even know why Monty's so fired up here, because it was Taylor earlier on tried to talk to him about what Taylor had said or something about the girls' alliance, or that the girls were trying to go together and they think that the guys are doing whatever. And Monty turns around here and throws this in Taylor's face and basically betrays her trust. And he's like, I don't want to see Taylor go, but she's doing all this. Like, it's got to happen now. She's made it up. Jaemeel, is Monty really buying this, or is he just leaning into this because it's easy?
Monty's an idiot.
Yeah.
so I'll leave that part. I'll leave that part for when we talk about spoilers. Now the question you might be asking, right? It showed on the show, but do you say, Jaemeel, can you 100% say was Taylor telling the truth, or is Paloma telling the truth?
Right.
Taylor's telling the truth.
Simple question.
Right? So, did Paloma tell Taylor that she would target Monty? Right? If he got in a show, in a showman's.
Did Paloma tell Taylor? No.
She did.
She did?
She did.
Okay, I didn't see that.
When? On the second day of the game. Second day. July 8th, 12:47 a.m. Flashback. Live
5 days
feeders.
ago.
Go ahead. It's
Do what?
Like people, like Paloma's saying that Taylor's making up lies and spreading rumors about things, right? But all Taylor was doing was going to Monty and saying, hey, you should talk to Paloma, because Paloma feels like something is happening with the guys and the girls are threatened, right? So she was saying for Monty to get in good with the girls. He turns around and goes, Taylor's talking shit about you. Like, why would you burn that bridge? Take that advice and just take it in a totally insane way.
I don't know. I don't really get why Monty would do all these things. Like, his motivations in this episode aren't completely.
We got quite a few kind of like dumb players. They're not dumb people. They're dumb players of the game.
Daniel's one of them.
Daniel is one of them. So is Monty. Even like Paloma is really cringy to watch as a player. Right now she's controlled, but I feel like it's because of the players she's playing with.
But Taylor's not good either.
Taylor's not very good. Like a lot
is anyone good
in this season so far? I think Nicole will be a good player.
Well, we don't know yet. You're saying might be in time, right? Like,
yeah, it's going to take some time. Like, I think she's got a head on her shoulders.
Daniel was having second thoughts about putting up Taylor, and Nicole shut it down.
Really? Because the edit really tried to make Nicole sympathetic towards Taylor in this episode.
That was true. Yeah. Was that false?
Once again, they go back and forth, but Nicole, like the good portion of the house, like are totally in on like what Paloma is saying, but at the same time feels that Paloma is something's up with her kind of deal. Like, there's only really two people that are like have Taylor's back, and that is Brittany and Michael.
What about Alyssa?
What? She's with the girls.
Oh, girls.
So with the same breath, she's talking like that's the crazy thing. They turn around and they like act nice to Taylor like she's like the problem, and then turn around and say all this stuff. The scene where Taylor was crying in the bathroom, right? Just before, all the girls were there minus Taylor, and they were just dogging Taylor. So we don't have all the details because they switch back and forth, but some people believe that Taylor was in the bathroom, like in the toilet, and was hearing it. Like they're doing both. Right? And it's not like people aren't aware of what's happening. Like even Paloma said herself, like to Taylor, it's like, be careful because they can edit our conversations to put forth whatever they want on the air. So it's not like Paloma doesn't know what she's doing.
Oh yeah, but
she knows what she's doing.
But the show is definitely, to me, making her a villain. Right? Like she's a villain. In the game.
You listen to her quotes here.
I don't think flaunting around like this is a pageant is the best idea.
So the dress thing. It seems pretty weird that she just started trying on dresses. It wasn't like, people, asked her to put on her dress.
Right. She was just like, I'm going to do a fashion show.
People asked her to put on her dress.
Oh, they did.
But she did a dance here with Kyle.
Like because
how dare she? That's not girls.
It's like she asked them a question. Do you want me to do a lap? Right? If they didn't want her to do a lap, just say no. She thought they were all in the spirit of the situation.
Is Kyle on Taylor's side?
Remember, Kyle had the conversation with Pooch about her going off and being like Chima.
It's nice to dance with someone other than my mom, to be honest.
Well, that's fair. I guess it's kind of sad that I feel like this week it's just there's a bunch of drama and they're really so early for there to be this much drama. It just spells more and more drama going forward as long as Paloma's in the game.
Oh, can we talk about Michael here? Because I feel like he's been completely overlooked in our coverage so far.
Oh, right.
Because, he was on the block here with Terrence. He takes himself down. He tries to go around before the veto competition to try to, get support. Like, if I pick you for House Guest Choice, will you fight for me? Turner and a bunch of others are like, no, I won't do much for you. I'm not going to tell you anything or whatever. And so we get the veto competition itself. What do you guys think of this whole medieval times kind of thing that they went
disliked?
What did you think of? What did you think of Kyle as a pirate or whatever he was?
He was fine. He did good. That was the best part of the whole segment. The actual competition was a joke. It was for me a complete joke.
So you had to take this little pool noodle here or whatever, and you had to try to get it through.
And let me tell you, nobody likes a floppy jousting lance.
That was how I felt.
Hand on past the thing of the lance.
She still lost.
I know she's still. Well, she
beat the rules.
She beat Turner.
She beat Turner.
She did beat Turner.
But yeah, you should have to use one arm.
Right. She tells us she loves horseback riding, guys. Did you know this?
I love horses. I do horseback riding whenever I have extra money because it's super expensive. But anyways.
Wonder when she gets extra money, Jaemeel.
Stop it. You know what? I'm trying to be good. But then you're telling me there is a competition where she has to put a noodle through holes.
Yeah.
And she's like, I've got to use two hands. I'm like, no.
I love horses.
I love horses.
Why? I'm trying to be good. I'm so trying to be good.
I think the show knows that this is what people are subliminally thinking.
I love horses.
I'm going for the golden ring.
I love gold.
I love gold. Gold's my favorite color.
Is she gold member?
I love gold. Gold is my favorite color.
She's also a great
I love
cast
Indy.
for the show. There's only a few boring people.
I think Indy's been good for this. I don't think we've got enough Indy so far. I think there's more goodness to come here with her.
But give me more Indy. So great. She's so great. Oh my gosh.
She was so proud of herself with this. And then, guys, can we talk about this moment here where we see Joseph was kind of feeding grapes and food to Taylor, and this is what was not very well appreciated by Paloma.
Of course it wasn't. But I bet you Joe fed a whole bunch of other people, but it was just that one like sequence. Like they're putting it together. Paloma like tells on herself so bad if you watch her.
Yeah, this
It's
is like
ridiculous.
there's some tells here like the Red Wedding, just minutes before the massacre, and she's got the chainmail underneath. She's coming for you, Paloma. She does not appreciate this. Her feud was building. It was good television, though. I agree. Like there was a story to this.
Yeah.
What I don't know. Like we can talk about the competition itself and who played, because of course we had the two nominees in Terrence and Michael. Michael goes on to win this. We had Indy, as mentioned. Amira did very well in this competition. She ends up coming down to the finals here with Michael and almost beats him, but she loses in sudden death. And who was the other one in the competition? I guess Daniel was in it. Daniel had a bit of a battle there with Michael at one point too.
His DRs in between the competition, Dave, were painful.
Who's
Daniel's? It was like, I just need him to lose.
He was really leaning into it. He's like, I think he's a Game of Thrones guy or something.
So I couldn't get any more blood on my hands. And I'm just like, oh my God, you dial it down a notch on your BB narrator voice. I feel like he's very phony. Like he's that's how I feel how he comes across on the show. I'm like, oh man, like, is it just because he's like a Vegas performer and he
seems phony. He seems phony. Like,
right?
How is it that, like, I believe that Paloma isn't putting an act, and that's like naturally what she's thinking and feeling. Like, even Taylor, right? If Taylor was like, I gotta try hard, like, no, it's like she's talking.
Yes, I much prefer that.
Yeah.
I don't understand why some of these people get into the DR on the show. And even if you're a fan, like Michael's a fan, he wasn't doing that stuff, like it is this acting voice or like, just stop, like
I love Dan Giesling, but he does like, I gotta narrate everything. But like Dr. Will would do all of his skits and his Chilltown stuff, but he will also talk. He will talk when it's time. He knows there's a time and place for the fun and games, and then there's a time and place where you're actually detailing what's going on.
Yeah, absolutely. And those are very self-aware players, though, and I don't think we got a lot of that in this house right now. Like, I really don't see any really savvy game player emerging yet. They're all kind of train wrecks.
Here he is. I thought just get a shot of him here in his chainmail for all this glory. Right?
He's rough to watch as someone. I have to cheer for this man.
You don't have to. You don't have to. You can disavow him if you want to. It's okay.
I want to cheer for him, but he's like, it's like watching like your favorite sports team finishing last every year, and you're just like, oh no,
this is a rough season for Daniel.
Yeah, it's not looking good. We got no players.
This was also an interesting moment, just randomly caught in the episode.
Yeah.
Alyssa has some holes in her bread, and she's using them as binoculars.
What art,
Lord!
I don't know much to say about that. So, did you think the competition was good overall, or no? No, you could do without it.
I didn't like that their jouster sticks were limp.
It was very well. That's what Terrence said. Nobody likes a limpy thing when you got.
I didn't like how slow the horse went. I think there was things that could have been.
I love horses.
Stop.
I
love horses.
I love
horses.
I do.
Horseback riding.
I love gold.
I love gold.
She's kind of like Sofia Vergara's character in Modern Family. That's kind of what she's like.
Yes, a little bit. Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's me. That's me on the. Oh.
Okay. So guys, then after the competition was over, we had some sessions here where they were kind of talking to Taylor in the what is this, the back room, I guess, with the 4 beds.
Yeah.
Right. We see here it's like it's Paloma, and this is where they tried to recruit her for the girls thing that we said didn't really make sense for her. But this is kind of what starts the thing where she's like, well, why would I work with you? What the heck's going on here? Right. And then that eventually leads to this conversation between Taylor and Monty, where, you think that these two might get together and do something with it. But Monty, as we said, screwed it up. And then before we know it, Paloma is working the house to her advantage, one thing at a time. Like she said, she never stops. She's kind of like supernatural in some ways. And the girls alliance is all for this. They're getting right on board with like let's roast Taylor here.
Yeah, they want to vote out a girl. The
Yeah.
girls alliance, first order of business.
Get a girl.
Vote out a girl.
Yeah.
What
Shouldn't
could go wrong?
Shouldn't they want to get out Terrence just so they have the numbers?
At the very beginning, they were like, when they were talking to Daniel, they said, "Get out a strong guy." From the beginning, and then once Paloma got on this whole thing, it was Taylor's got to go.
And if you're a strong guy, you're like, yeah, sure, see you later, Taylor. Who cares? Right? If you're Kyle, if you're even if you're Joseph, like when you're better her than me.
And it is good to get strong females out too, because when you're a guy, it's just easier in the competitions later on. And I would say Taylor's probably a pretty strong athlete, so she's going to do certain things pretty well.
You might imagine, like we haven't really seen her do much yet, but what did she do in the first competition, like the HOH? I'm trying to remember what she was in. If she had to hold on to the T-shirt or not.
Who? Taylor?
Oh, she was in the jewelry.
No, she was in the jewelry one.
Then no. Then we have no indication really. She's barely been in any competitions. She obviously wasn't in this one, so it's a backdoor scenario. Guys, what do you think here towards the end? This conversation between Taylor and Daniel, where he's like, "Well,
rough.
I have to kind of tell her that people are saying her name, but he doesn't really. He gives her basically the bare minimum. He always does like the least he can possibly do.
Yeah." And comes across very disingenuous and nothing real about it. He really needs to take the time to learn to like connect to people in the game, because I'm sure he probably do that outside the game, but inside the game, he is like this game bot that is on level D. Like that's kind of where he is.
He's still on the first shaft.
Yeah,
right?
He's still on the first shaft, and he will not make it home.
Yeah, yeah. Move along home. Yeah, it's like the whole thing was rough. Like, okay, and then we kind of get like this scene down in the bathroom where we kind of see like Taylor kind of crying by herself, and there's some, if you've got some humanity, you're gonna feel bad for her, I guess, on some level, right? Because she doesn't even understand what the hell's going on.
Let's see.
And a lot of the public seems to have like, they hate Paloma, they love Taylor, they love the alumni. Say this has to stop. What is the show really going to do to stop this?
Stop what?
Stop like making nice people feel bad.
That's the game.
That's part of the game.
But I think that the audience has a hard time with that sometimes.
Well, but
they're supposed they're supposed to be angry. They're supposed to be like, this person's a villain, and I hope that this villain gets their comeuppance. What they're telling me, what the audience is telling me, is they don't believe that the villain's gonna get their comeuppance because people are too dumb to see through it, and they're worried that it's gonna be a runaway season. That's what we're really hearing.
I bet you Paloma goes next or the one after that.
I don't know about that, but I do think she will eventually crash and burn. I just know it's something, with Taylor. It's not something Kobe would have done. He would have wanted to go up against the best.
That's gonna cue me up.
Yeah,
right?
it's gonna cue him up.
Kobe doesn't step down from a challenge; he accepts it.
Why are you talking about?
Why are you talking about nephew right now?
If your nephew has nobody to look up to.
If your nephew has nobody to look up to,
I thought the whole Kobe thing, raising him to be a man and face challengers and stuff.
Are you talking about my nephew right now?
I'm asking about if named after Kobe. Kobe doesn't step down from a challenge; he accepts it.
I highly suggest you stop talking about my nephew.
I think that's
I will
not
say
really
this.
up to me. I think that
Derek, shut up.
if your nephew has nobody to look up to, that
Keep talking about my nephew,
if your nephew has nobody to look up to,
Take your grab.
that is going to figure out
Honestly,
how
like,
to raise him.
Kylan.
Julie's waiting on it.
Kylan,
Julie's like DEFCON.
I need to leave right now, Kylan.
I can't believe they let them go on.
Because they
He's
try
said
to
it
have
3
it both
times.
ways. They kind of try to have it both ways. That's the thing.
They do. They try to skirt a line.
They want like that blow up, but they don't want obviously anybody to hit anybody else or to or there to be some kind of like lasting damage. But
it's a pressure box. You're sending like 60 people into a small space and like play these parlor games and then vote each other out.
And like just mess with their minds and completely gaslight them to death. And then, well, at least she'll get out. She'll get her phone back, and then she'll it's like, hey, listen, there's a lot of people who like you in real life, but it didn't work out for you in the games. Yeah, seems to be what the destiny is here.
Folks, Taylor's gonna be fine. After this is over, Taylor's gonna be fine. Taylor's not gonna be like, oh no, I'm begging on the street,
Right.
Like, so don't worry about it. Sometimes you don't win. You don't win. I know it. I'm disappointed that my number 3 pick, is gonna get possibly voted out. But that's how it goes, I'm gonna whine and moan about it, but I'm not gonna say shut the game down. They need to stop. Production needs to get involved. We don't want production involved. We want less involvement, right? Yeah. We want whoever to win, right?
Yeah. Well, and like eventually this will be forgotten. We won't even remember this in 10 weeks, really, that much.
Well, we'll remember it. But that's how we remember the game, though. We remember these things about the game.
Yeah, this is also very unique because it's all starting off on gender lines, and then like we'll remember what Paloma was doing in I think in week 1 and this whole Taylor vote.
We still remember Frenchie and how he was just a complete mess.
And then they got rid of him the next week.
We still remember Pow Pow.
Pow Pow, you suck. It's true.
It's true. I feel like I need to go back and just get that clip.
You need to get that clip because we're going to keep referencing it.
I know. It's like I need to go back and get some
Paloma is Pow Pow with ambition and a lot more confidence.
This is the next generation of Pow Pow. Paloma.
That's a good question. Who does Paloma remind you of as a player?
She reminds me. She reminds me of a little bit is from Big Brother Canada 9, Latoya. I'm getting a little bit of that kind of the chaos of that kind of style. Where it's
Nicole not Nicole. Was it Spicy V and what's her name combined into one person?
Latoya and Spicy V together.
Yeah.
I kind of get a bit of Vanessa Russo vibes from Paloma.
Vanessa Russo vibe too. Yeah. Where
this pitch sucks.
That's your Victoria. Spicy V.
Spicy V. Where I can understand with the Vanessa Russo thing because it's Vanessa, she like convinces herself.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. She guilts herself into believing something and then she guilts you into believing it too. And then you're just like, I accept it. I accept what you said.
That's exactly what happened here. Is a very Vanessa Russo, where she basically emotionally manipulated like 3 or 4 people in the house and got what she wanted.
I think it's very interesting here as this veto meeting starts off here, as because they always like, I guess they get them all to go to this back room, and then the veto holder does the little thing where he looks at the memory wall and he grabs the medallion. But if you look there, Paloma's in the very back corner on the last bed, but also on that bed, right down from her is Taylor.
Yeah, right? Because Paloma's talking to Taylor, and it's like
Brittany in this photo.
It's like, oh, don't worry, like because Taylor likes Paloma. That's the crazy thing. Taylor likes Paloma.
Well, and Paloma seems to be one of these players that she likes to keep her enemies close to her. And I think she's going to continue to do that. She's going to figure out who her biggest enemies are, and then she's going to befriend them to their face and then trash them behind their back. And then, you know what I mean? Like, that's going to be her game.
When we start talking about these alliances,
Yeah. So Michael takes himself down, and Taylor goes up. We talked about Daniel's HOH speech being kind of rough here.
Kinda. It was a train wreck.
It was a complete train wreck.
It was a gap.
Yeah. What can you say nice about this guy's game so far, Jeff?
Good luck for those roots.
Not
dude.
much.
Good luck.
It was a very simple week for him.
Yeah.
He didn't even really poll the house to figure out who they really wanted to get out. He just kind of decided what he wanted to do on his own. Like everything he did was as a first at HOH. I'm just like, no.
No. It's been bad. He could be the next to go, really.
I won't be surprised if he's on the block soon.
There's a moment here that's coming up. I have to just show you here where
he's showing us the moment.
Oh,
oh my god, he looks like Gritty.
Looks okay. So guys, tonight, Jaemeel, you might have saw this in the chat. But I was having some technical difficulties watching the episode. There was like this weird ringing sound on Global.
I got it too.
It was like I had to try and describe video, which seemed to make it go away. But I was starting to get the described video voice, right? And it'd be like
Michael enters the bedroom.
Yes, I got
it
too.
A door closes.
A door closes. Right.
It was great.
But then it'd be like
Daniel and Michael collect rings on the lances.
It makes me want to listen to Big Brother this way from now on, just to listen to the descriptions.
But sometimes it's kind of like really like this.
Michael collects rings with a focused expression.
The focused expression.
The focused expression.
It's the closest you're going to get to Big Brother Australia right now.
Oh yes, yeah,
right.
he is our Big Brother.
And then this was the final one I pulled.
Paloma's eyes open wide.
Speaking of which, Jaemeel, have you watched a bunch of Big Brother Australia?
I'm actually saving it because I have line duty when I get to Comic-Con. I have to. I'm in line for about 6 hours at one time, early in the morning. So I need something to enjoy, and it's gonna be Big Brother Australia.
You're gonna love that
with
shit.
Tim and Tim. And
I like to
Reggie,
Reggie and Estelle, and it's a good season. You're gonna like it.
Right. Well, guys. Okay, so this wraps up. Oh, great shot here of Paloma just being smug.
Am I crazy? Who knows?
Probably. I'll probably destroy this game because she's gonna Vanessa Russo this season. That's my prediction. She's either gonna get voted out soon, or she's gonna Vanessa Russo this season, where basically she emotionally manipulates everybody to get to the end, and then just barely lose to
Michael.
Probably Michael.
Michael what I mean? Wins, so it's just a repeat of that season.
Yeah.
last challenge.
But guys, just before we get into the spoiler section of this, let's talk about our two final nominees here. And I know Jaemeel knows a bit more than maybe Jeff does about what the hell's going on. So maybe Jeff, if you had to guess, which one of these gets evicted tomorrow?
Oh, Taylor.
These contestants.
Yeah, it's Taylor, Dave. And the thing is, who they should vote out is Terrence's hat.
Well, come on, we're spinning a whole new thing this season.
But this season, we're spinning a whole new record.
Why, dude? He's like, I don't want to do any bus jokes. Okay, we'll do DJ jokes. Perfect.
It was talk about rough. It was rough watching his DRs. I was just like, oh my god,
DJ Showtime.
DJ Showtime always has a couple of tricks up his sleeve.
It was so obvious that the producers were writing his lines, and there was just nothing genuine about it. It was very fake and for TV, and we got really, other than like when he was talking about him on the block. Even then, I was just like, oh my god.
He's like, I can't get voted out first. I told my wife I'd bring home the money.
Yeah, he had that joke,
but he doesn't really seem too worried. He even had the conversation earlier on with Daniel, and he was like, whatever, man. Don't feel bad.
He's just happy to be here. He's just happy to be here. He goes to Daniel. I thought artist to artist. I'm like, what?
Artist to artist.
Karaoke KJ.
He's a karaoke jockey, but that's an artist? Okay, well,
Wait, is Daniel an artist because he impersonates Elvis?
I think he also plays music too.
He's a musical artist.
But it's Okay. Okay.
Hey, he has to go perform for 14 people in a Chicago bar sometimes. That
So before Taylor was nominated, Taylor also went to Terrence and told Terrence that he had her vote. So guess he doesn't get that vote from her, but
Yeah.
there's enough that it looks like she might be going. But there's still we could talk. We're going to talk more about in the spoiler section.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. Don't give anything too much away. But
I can talk about the alliances aren't spoilers.
Yeah. Just to answer your earlier question, Sam. Yes, there will be an eviction recap tomorrow, but it will be later because you wanted to know what time tomorrow. I believe the show is on at 9 tomorrow, so we'll probably be on around 10:30 is my guess right now to Eastern, which would be what is that, like 11? No, it's not even. It's midnight in Newfoundland, isn't it? Isn't they an hour and a half ahead of us?
Jeez.
So,
yikes.
Yeah, I think they're half an hour past Nova Scotia. So, anyway, guys, we're going to get into the spoiler section. If you don't want to know anything that's been going on in the house, basically leading up to this vote, get out of here now and come back tomorrow for that next coverage. But until then, we hope you'll stick around and hear some speculation about this next vote and anything else we might know. Jameel's got some goods. All right, guys, here we go.
Well, I wanted to talk about the alliances before we got into spoiler talk, but that's fine. I'll just go through the alliances. So we all know our favoritely named alliance, the Girls Alliance.
Girls.
Right? With Paloma, Alyssa, Brittany, Jasmine, Indy, and Amara. But
one of the Girls Alliance.
Indy is on the outs. So it's really a 5-person alliance.
Okay.
And then in turn, there's an all guys alliance with Daniel, Pooch, Turner, Kyle, Monty, and Joe. But originally,
name?
The Oasis.
The Oasis?
The Oasis.
And who's in it?
Daniel, Pooch,
Turner,
Turner,
Daniel in an alliance.
Kyle,
Okay.
Monty, and Joe.
Who the hell came up with that name? Pooch?
But
Monty and Joe?
Yes.
And Pooch?
And Pooch.
And no Turner.
Yeah, Daniel, Pooch, Turner, Kyle, Monty, and
Turner.
Joe.
All the guys except Terrence.
Not Terrence.
Okay.
And no, there's 8 guys in the house. Who else?
And Michael.
Terrence
and Michael are not included.
Terrence and Michael, and we're missing one more then.
But no,
it's 8 guys and 8 girls.
Is Daniel in it?
Daniel, Pooch, Turner, Kyle, Monty, Joe.
Wait, who's Joe? Oh, Joseph.
Yeah, Joseph.
Joe. Okay, you gotta be careful because there's Pooch, who's also a Joe. He's a Joe Pucciarelli.
He's Pooch.
Right, but he goes by Joe in real life. If he goes by any Joe, but Joseph is Joseph. Joseph's my middle name, so I have a sensitivity to this issue.
How much does Pooch wish the guy with the abs got into the house instead? You know,
if it was Marvin, if it had been Marvin Achi.
So inside the Oasis, there's a stronger 3-person alliance, which consists of Turner and Pooch and Daniel.
So Turner and Pooch is a thing.
Turner and Pooch and Daniel?
Yes.
And are we going to call this Turner?
That group is called. That group is called the Motley Crew.
No, it's called Turner and Pooch.
No, that threesome is called the Motley Crew.
Crew, CRUE or CREW?
CREW supposedly from recappers.
If Turner and Pooch are the final 2, I will be so happy.
Yeah, we have to Photoshop Tom Hanks out of there.
And Pooch is a dog.
Yeah.
So at the same time, Paloma and Alyssa wanted another alliance that would be their main alliance. And that main alliance, like the Girls Alliance, isn't going to be their main alliance. This main alliance will be their main alliance. And the main alliance originally started with Alyssa, Paloma, Monty, right? And Pooch, Amira, and Kyle, right? So
And
3
Kyle.
girls and 3 guys.
And what's that called?
But Pooch has been now left out of that group. And after Michael took himself off the block, he is now a part of the group.
And they substituted him for Michael for
Michael, yes. And that group is called Mamba.
Like Black Mamba?
Yes, Mamba.
Mamba.
Yes. Now, Michael has stated that he does not trust the Alliance because he feels he's at the bottom.
Of course, they were kicked out Pooch and replaced, and Pooch knows about it though.
Yes. Well, he might not know under the name of Mamba, and there's enough of them that are in the, like just hold on. So then there's another alliance with Paloma, and it's Paloma, Jasmine, Kyle, and Monty, and they're called the Smurfs.
The Smurfs.
Yes. And then there's you're getting that. And then there's another alliance that doesn't currently have a name, but it's Paloma, Alyssa, Pooch, and Turner.
Pooch and Turner, Pooch.
Have you noticed there's a consistent theme with a lot of these alliances?
Paloma's in a lot of them.
Yes.
Paloma, Turner, and Pooch are in a lot of them.
And Alyssa. This is Alyssa.
Yeah. Okay. Sometimes Paloma's in an alliance with Alyssa, and sometimes she's not.
Yep.
Okay. So let's just make sure I got this all correct. All right. There was originally the Road Rats, Daniel and Nicole.
Oh, see, I'm not including duos. That's going to be the next section that I talk about.
Well, that was the first one they formed on the show. Then we had Girls, of course.
Yep.
With we said Indy at the bottom, the Oasis, the Motley Crue, Mamba, the Smurfs, this nameless alliance you've brought up. Then there's Main Alliance, which was Jasmine, Paloma, Alyssa, Monty, Kyle, and Pooch, right? Is that Black Mamba?
That's Mamba. No,
Mamba.
Pooch got kicked out. Remember, Alyssa, Paloma, Monty.
That's okay. And then the nothing cemented duo, Brittany and Turner. Is that a thing?
So, final two deals: Brittany and Turner.
Yeah.
Rugrats with Nicole and Daniel.
Right.
Right. Monty and Kyle have a 2-person final two. Turner and Pooch, final 2 deal.
Monty and Kyle, okay. Turner and Pooch do?
Yes. I know you're happy about that.
Of course.
Then there is a 2-person alliance called the Blue-Eyed Boys with Kyle and Pooch.
The Blue-Eyed Boys?
The Blue-Eyed Boys.
No.
Who's in it?
Pooch has very blue eyes. That's true.
Kyle and Pooch.
Kyle and Pooch. That's the worst one.
And then Paloma, final 2 deal with Alyssa. And their group is called PSL, which I don't know what it means.
PSL is just Paloma and Alyssa?
Yep, final 2.
Okay.
Wow, there's a lot of but
this is like week 1, so all of this is gonna fall apart.
Of course, but this is not that unusual to see multiple alliances overlapping, and to see like only some of these are going to eventually come to fruition, right?
Yep.
You know, it's just in case this happens, then this, and if this happens, then that, and so you have like a number of different crops that you're hoping are going to yield some fruit.
Okay.
But they won't all pan out. Okay. So that's that. What?
Okay. What do you want to get to next? Do you want to speculate about what's going to happen? Do you want us to talk more about Paloma? Like, it's
I'd like to know. Well, I guess anything that's going on with this vote heading into tomorrow. If there's any kind of like, if there's any major debates or sort of flips going on here, or if it's kind of just business ahead, just get Taylor out here and make it nice and easy, move on to the next week and figure this out from there.
So Taylor has been trying her best to kind of backtrack to figure out exactly who she's rubbed the wrong way, right? She's talked to Daniel, she's talked to Monty, she's talked to Paloma, and she's slowly but surely figuring out where things are coming, and people are realizing it at the same time. So she believes that the root cause of a lot of issues, which isn't necessarily the root cause, but it is a root cause, is that when she went and warned Monty about what Paloma said, Monty presented it as Taylor ratting on Paloma, right? And him not trusting Taylor about it, and then Paloma using it as a way to galvanize the entire house. So Taylor understands why Monty might feel the way he does after talking to Paloma, because Paloma has twisted what she said. But she feels that it's more Monty's fault than Paloma's fault, right? So I think as more information gets revealed, we're going to start seeing that, she's going to start realizing what's going on. Taylor's holding on to the belief that the backstage pass is going to be her savior. She's trying to repair relationships. So we're going to see what's happening. She does have some allies. As I said, Michael says that, like, if she gets past this week, he wants to work with her, right? Brittany has also mentioned having her back as well, right? I with her putting out that olive branch beforehand, maybe Terrence, if he survives as well, might be someone that is in her corner. That's a couple of people, right? So I think honestly that is going to be the backstage pass that or bust for her. Either that helps.
We haven't even talked about the backstage pass, or the fact that one of them is going up as probably as the third nominee, regardless of who it is. Are they really going to get them out?
Would it be hilarious if Paloma went up?
If it somehow is Paloma instead.
So if Taylor does enough work to get people to question Paloma, who knows? But I don't.
There's less than 24 hours. Can it happen?
A lot can happen. I don't know if Taylor is that aggressive, or she has enough social capital to be that aggressive to make such a turn. So I don't think that's necessarily possible. Unless the backstage pass replaces a nominee, right? And if that's the case and it's Taylor, then Terrence is going home. And the reason why Terrence would go home is because they don't see any value in him. They like him, but he's been purposely excluded from alliance talks and conversations because, although he's a nice guy, they don't believe he is going to be beneficial at all
to them. Like they don't think they can work with him, basically. That's what it comes down to, right?
Like he's just a vote, but he's not a vote that can win HOH is basically what they think.
So is that the only thing that like gives you value as an alliance member? Because clearly, like they're picking up Kyle and all these alliances because they think he has high potential to become HOH.
I think Kyle. You know what? I will laugh. Kyle won't win HOH. Kyle will get voted out before he wins HOH. Right? We see it happen all the time. Where all these like there's some strong people, there's some quote unquote weak people that win HOH, and then there's people there that never win HOH. That never really hold on to power. Moose never had power in Big Brother Canada, right? Despite being a young, athletic person.
Yeah,
Kyle,
you killed the alliance, Kyle.
Yeah, Kyle did, and we have another Kyle. There's always a Kyle, and he always seems to get power at some point. So, and then flames out terribly.
I think we're into our third Kyle in a row here. Considering the Big Brother Canada,
and they're all the same. They're all tall white guys with blonde hair.
I watched this whole thing on Vsauce about like names and how that people this is what a Matt looks like, or this is what a certain type of name. This is what like a John would look like, and that we have like certain things in mind, and that. We give kids these names based on, maybe what parents obviously think their kids will look like them. So they pick names that they think would suit them a little bit too. Mm-hmm. It's interesting. Anyway, I digress. But guys, Jeff, what do you want to know about?
Does Daniel
Daniel has no power.
Is he a target next week?
No, I don't think so. The targets are, especially from Paloma's side, was Indy, Taylor if she survives, Terrence if he survives.
Okay, so those three. And if you're on the guys' team, who are you targeting?
Taylor. There's talk about breaking up Alyssa and Paloma, right? So that's already kind of out there. But as you see, a lot of people are in cahoots with her, so that might be hard for everyone to really jump into.
She's in every alliance, so like the only alliance she's not in is the Motley Crew, the Road Rats, a couple of duos, basically. And she's in all the other ones.
Monty has come up, and not just from the girls.
As a target?
As a target. Like, before Daniel kind of hooked up with him, he was saying that Monty's on his radar.
Right. Well, no one's talking about Joseph. Where does he fall into any of this?
Oh, yeah, Joseph. People generally don't. He's like this there. He just works out and says he's going to help people with their fitness.
And he feeds grapes to Taylor.
That one time.
Well, it's famous now.
Joe's an early boot in a game like this.
And Joe was also pro Taylor. Right? He's like, oh, I Taylor's the best. I see why she was Miss Michigan. Like,
but he once again has no power, and
there's no power.
Someone who seems to have almost as bad of a social game as she does, quote unquote. The only difference is he doesn't have a Paloma gunning for him. He could probably be in the same exact place.
Well, I don't know. I guess I'm okay with how this week's unfolding. And
like closer for me to get my victory.
Yeah, well, I know I don't like this idea that Monty's being targeted, but like I think that we're okay.
Paris the thought that Monty gets.
Yeah, don't be going after Delaware Monty. He's all right,
Delaware
Monty.
Okay.
Not to be confused with any of the other Montys.
All right. So can we get into the Paloma talk?
Okay, hit me.
Okay.
Paloma.
So Paloma has had conversations with not just Monty, but other members of her alliance, like Alyssa. And I don't want to do a disservice of what she's saying, so I'm going to quote her. I'm going to quote her exactly with what she said.
Okay.
Sorry.
Paloma.
Okay, so you're about to enter the secrets of my brain. Now I can sense people. Now I have like X-ray vision of what's going on. I sound psycho right now. Anyways, welcome to my chess game. Let me tell you how this is going to go, okay? So Mamba is 6, okay? We're using my fingers to visualize, okay? 6. She then explains Tiffany's game last season. I have a book of chess moves. I didn't know if it works out well, but it usually really working out well. They're working out fantastic. You divide players into rational and emotional brain. We need to work with rational players because they'll never fail you. Turner's a very emotional player. When I told him about Taylor, he was like screaming and sad I'm okay with getting him out because his emotions can fuck up our game. Pooch and Turner are loud in the sense that they're loud in this game. God gave me discernment about people in Mamba. Like, trust your gut, trust your intuition. Like, I believe in God and you believe in God. Like, I'm a firm believer. Like, whatever you believe in, I'm not trying to press my beliefs on anyone in this house, but he leads my way, like, in all realms of life. Like, give me this discernment. Anyways, I'm done talking. Use that border talk strategy in your mind. Terrence is a good nugget to use to not get blood on your hands because he understands his gameplay is a little bit lower. His social game is a little bit lower. So I think, honestly, it's an easy move to get Terrence out. Right? No, let me tell you, I think I've unlocked the key to this game. Everyone speaks game to me. I know everything. I literally like to say I know everything in this house. Truly why I feel so confident, my anxiety is gone. I can tell you that the end game result, I'm at checkmate. checkmate is me winning money and investing in all of your guys' businesses because I love you guys too much to take all that money and run. And that's my end goal. I promise Kyle that I'm promising you that your and Alyssa's passion for like gym and fitness, you guys can do anything you want. I see that belief. I see that passion. I give you money like I'm not going to take 750K. I wouldn't feel good because we've all played this game. We're all amazing individuals, and I literally found a way back into Big Brother. Like, give me the money because, like, I can't split the money. And, like, you can't split the money and all that. Like, you can't split the money. And if you love these people, what are you going to do? And I'm like a philanthropy thing, or we could at least go enjoy a... So, okay. Fuck. We'll give that too. But I guess that's what I'm going to win this money. Fine, write me a check to me. You don't have to write a check to anyone else. But guess what? As soon as that check's written to me, that money is going to be invested in your guys' businesses. And I promise you that. And I'm like, check me. And I'm telling you, it took me 5 days to do it, but I had to solve this whole entire game to the end. Otherwise, I can't sleep at night. And frankly, your girl wants to sleep. And Paloma talk.
Isn't that against the rules?
It is absolutely against the rules.
Yeah.
She said that repeatedly.
So why is she allowed to say it in the house?
That's a very good question.
Well, she probably get a warning about it, but yeah, like I can't imagine. Like, didn't they try to do that in Rob Cesternino's season of Survivor, where they're like, why don't we just all take our money and buy like a TGI Fridays or something, or it was like some kind of franchise. I think it was like a Denny's or something that they were, which is against the rules. You're not allowed to share the money because that takes out the competitiveness of the game. But I think, and when she was saying like he guides me, was she talking about God?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know what this girl's deal is.
Some of the screenshots of Paloma, she looks so different, like in different pictures. She's got a very like unique face because it always looks different depending on the picture.
Yeah, she's very expressive, I would say, overall, or sometimes. Well, this was my favorite quote tonight. Was this one? Okay.
I'm like, look at this one.
Okay.
I can't wait till she's out of this backstage shirt. It's just I hate it.
I'm not going to be long with this one. I'll try to keep it short. Right? So Paloma and Daniel are talking. I'm just breaking down like my health, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I'm being pulled like pastrami, like pulled pork sandwich.
Yeah.
Can we just be friends? Like, can we just forget this game for 5 minutes? I'm serious. Like, can I sleep in your bed? Can I please take like a 2-hour nap in your bed, please?
She the Harley boy?
Daniel.
Let the boy sleep in your bed.
They may not let you. Paloma goes, just don't tell them I'm here, please, as long as you can. Daniel, the game knows you're here. Paloma's like, who? Oh, can I expect the interior design of your room for a couple of hours? Seriously? Daniel's like, you're so cute. Absolutely. Paloma. Everyone's like, blah, 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 blah. I feel like I'm going to get woken up at my bed at this point. Like, I'm not kidding. It's because, you know why? It's because this has allowed me to be homies with everyone. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, I need to breathe. Like, have you seen how much I've been talking? Honestly, not even because I want to fucking talk, because people are just stimulating my brain to have conversations and I have to respond. Like, this is just basic science, stimulation science. Daniel's like, we have to stay friends after this, okay? I need this in my life forever. It's
what?
Like he's not talking to her. He's like reacting to her. Paloma, I'm not ready to quit this game whatsoever. Hell no. But at the same time, I'm like, yo, this game doesn't even matter. I'm like past the point of being in this game because honestly, it's like day 6. And that's what I've come to realize. It's day 6. How many hours have we spent together? Calculate that. 6 times 24 hours is what? Whatever. The math is, that's the game. And people can't see it. They can't watch live feeds for 6 days straight. Which is like, I understand, but like it's only like 140 hours of real ass people to sit in a house without social media, without phones, or for people to feel like family, to feel like freaking family. Like I never thought that. I was like, why are they all cuddling together? They must like love. They must like showmance. Like that's like beta thinking. That's like beginning steps. Like, you know what I mean? Daniel's like, throw some knowledge out there. Paloma keeps on talking. I'm not kidding. And I realized that the show today, I woke up like fucking 4 hours of sleep because everyone's like incoherent noises. Like I want to go to bed at 10. Like I need to be like, you guys need to go to bed. We need to start being reprimanded by voices above because I'm telling you, it's turning into a frat house. It's turning into a fucking frat house, and I can't have this. Daniel's like, I can't get a word in. He's like not talking to her. She's like, no, I'm venting to you. I'm venting to you, and please listen to me. Daniel's like, no, I love it. I love it. Paloma's like, I'm sick of it. I'm sick of it, dude. Because I'm like, I graduated college last year, and like I thought like that was it for me. I'm definitely not going to get my master's. I just like not a college person, but I'm back in a freaking social aspect of college where it's a frat house. It's a shit show. You know the handbook, the little handbook, the little manual. Okay, I'm a psychopath, and I put that shit downstairs. No, because you know why? Because we need some order in here, and I need you, or otherwise I'm gonna look like a crazy person. And I'm okay with you knowing I'm a crazy person because there's so much stuff about law and legal stuff. So it feels like no one's watching, and we can say whatever we want. But I'm concerned. I feel like a mother. I'm concerned about all of 16 of us in the law aspect too. Like if I'm singing lyrics to Lizzo, you know, like Lizzo, and we're like sentimental, you know, like I'm not going to sing the song because you know, but yo, that's true. Like copyright's going on, right?
This is still Paloma talking.
So this is where I got to here.
Yeah,
there was still that much more.
Like I'm not absorbing too much of it. I gotta tell you, it's kind of incoherent, largely. Like I know that in real life it can come across very differently. Sometimes when you're just shooting the shit with people, and when you actually try to put that down on paper, it can come across nonsensical. But yeah, I think she's got a very active mind. That I think she's her lack of stimulation might be messing with her. You know, she's a 22-year-old. She's not used to not having her phone. Probably first time in her life she hasn't had her connection to people 24/7. So
I think they just got to write this out. So supposedly she was in like fees cut for a long period of time, and people were questioning if she was going to quit the game because you know that type of rambling. And I only got like a fourth of the way through. That type of rambling does not really bode well for someone's mental health, right? Like she's not sleeping and she's just rambling on. She's talking about how she's seeing signs in tea bags. Like it later goes on to that. Like she's trying to make up lies so that she can stay and possibly sleep in Daniel's bed so she can get some rest, right? So she's like, I'm just tell them I'm inspecting your bed. Like Big Brother couldn't hear what exactly she's planning.
Well, like if she wins Power, I think that could be an amazing development for the show. Just to see what that would do.
Turning, who wants to see my HOH room?
Yeah, if she somehow evicted herself, I could see that happening by the end of the week.
Who are you putting up? Paloma.
Paloma. I deserve it.
Put it up twice.
She,
I'm putting up the regular one and the crazy one.
I don't know. So, yeah.
Okay. Well, I need to get some more, and I'm kind of curious to see where some of these alliances pan out or don't. I'm kind of curious about some of these other players in the house. What are they actually doing? What's Nicole doing? What is Terrence doing, if anything? What is Joseph doing? Michael, are we going to see some kind of counter Mamba alliance form into this house?
How can they? Everyone's like the Venn diagram is like really only 4 people are out of all the alliances.
So if they form a fourth,
three people out of the alliances, which is Terrence, Taylor, and no, it's just those two.
Joseph's not
the only two who are not. Huh?
Oh, Joseph's in the Oasis.
Yeah,
but okay,
but
the
girls.
That's the all guys alliance. It's who knows. I feel like an alliance like the Mamba is a more real alliance potentially, but we'll see. Like
they want it to be a level 6.
It all depends on who wins Power next. But if it's Nicole, like what alliance is she in?
She's with Daniel.
Okay, well, I think she's smarter than Daniel though.
But she's also one to lay low. She's not exerting her will.
She's not girls.
She's not girls. and they made it explicitly known that that's the reason why she does. They don't think that Nicole is a girl's girl, right?
She's not a girl's girl, but she likes girls. Proud lesbian.
Right? Doesn't make her a girl's girl. So
no, not a girl's girl. What does that mean? Not
Means
gonna
you're,
look out for
like you're a guy's guy.
What does that mean?
it's you fall under what they believe a woman should be.
Oh, well, I have no time for
That's
that.
why it's so cringe. It's
Yeah.
so
What a woman wants, what a woman
But
needs.
a mirror is what a girl should be.
I'm not a part of the Girls Alliance, so I can't really tell you.
It makes no sense. I don't even know what it's about. Okay, guys, I think we've been on here rambling long enough at this point. We've covered this veto. We'll be back tomorrow for the eviction. Either Taylor or Terrence will be evicted, and maybe we'll get to know who the new HOH is.
One of the Girls Alliance.
Taylor looks like a straight up living doll.
Living doll.
Maybe in the future we might do a Big Brother radio theater where we voice
Who gets
act
to play Paloma. That would be the role of a lifetime. You know, can I play Indy? I'll just be like,
I love horses. I do.
I love horses.
I want Mott to be Paloma.
I want Mott could be Paloma. That would be. So I figured out this game for 5 days. I was figuring it all out, and then it's going great.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. We'll be wave from your turn and wave from your living room. Go Philly. All right. Okay, guys. Well, we'll be back tomorrow night. Also, check out our other podcasts, including here on Super Meteor's podcast. We just finished up Survivor season 42. If you haven't checked that already, plus Big Brother Canada 10 earlier this year. We have other podcasts on the network, including all kinds of shows and movies, Marvel and whatnot. But I haven't done anything recently, but we will get back to doing those. And also on Live Long and Podcast, our Star Trek theme channel, we got Monday night Star Trek Enterprise, a rewatch series. Oh, I'm on the wrong soundboard. I have to be on the other one to be. Here we go.
Yes.
That's right.
Not by Rod Stewart.
Huh?
Not by Rod Stewart.
Not by Rod Stewart, but the other guy.
There is a version by Rod Stewart.
There is a version, but that's, yeah. On Star Trek, sometimes Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesdays, we talk about Star Trek Deep Space Nine at 9-ish. We just finished our review last night of what was it called? Ties of Blood and Water. Next week's episode is Ferengi Love Songs, season 5, episode 20. Check that out.
Who is Dax?
You want to know the
Who
answer
is
to that?
Dax?
Check that out, Deep Space Nine at 9. We just finished up our coverage of Star Trek Strange New Worlds season 1.
It's the gourd.
You got to know what's going on. It's the gourd. You got to check out that and find out what's going on over there. Plus, today they announced that Star Trek's Lower Decks will be returning August 25th. And we'll be covering that on Live Long and Podcast. But there's a little bit of a gap here in Star Trek constantly putting out a new show every Thursday, like they've been doing for I think 10 months straight.
Which is it's good. I think it's a good idea to have a little bit of a break.
Give us a month. Yeah, it's good for me, especially while we're in the thick of Big Brother right now. Also, we got an extra edition of Star Trek Radio Theater coming up. We're doing our live read this Saturday night of the Voyager episode Death Wish. We've got Jeff in it. I'm in it. We got a lot of the Live Long and Podcast greats coming to bring this Voyager episode. It's an audio drama that we record as like a script read, and then we turn it into kind of an audio play, like by adding the backgrounds and everything else. You want to hear that? Check that out over on Live Long and Podcast. Plus, we have Trivial Debates, a monthly show where we argue about movies, TV, sports, and more. We've got Jody Simpson hosting the next edition of Trivial Debates on July 24th with Jeff Mader, Max Duda, and Chris Murphy competing. Check out that on that Sunday. And also check out our friends podcast. My son Eamon, he's got a podcast called Let's Talk About Fighting Games. He does under his alias Sam Jerka. Also, our friend Michael Chan from Star Trek Radio Theater does a podcast called the Hellbound Podcast with Alex Blackburn every Wednesday, where they talk horror and all kinds of things like that. And also check out Davin Skellhorn. Locutor's a Trek, and he's got X-Men the Animated Series X-Rated. Every Tuesday with Andre. They go through all those episodes, and if you like the X-Men the Animated Series show, check out that coverage over there. And on that note, guys, I think we can get out of here and call it a night on Big Brother 24, episode 3, as it will, here on this Wednesday, July 13th, 2022. Thanks for being with us tonight, and we hope you'll join us next time. Thanks to Jeff and Jaemeel and to all the ones in the comments. But until next time, I think we need to get out of here. All right. See you next time.
Michael collects rings with a focused expression.
I love horses. I do horseback riding whenever I have